Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we are in the Russian Tier 6 battleship Poltava, which happens to be on sale for, I think, for the next 2 days for you guys. Obviously, the Azure Lane stuff was out first, but I always try to do ships that may be on sale to see if you guys think you may want them. I am not trying to sell the ships, guys, by the way. I know I like a lot of the ships that are on sale, but I like all the ships. There's not many ships. I think there's only one ship in the entire game. That Russian, I believe, Tier 4 cruiser that came out. That's the only one I think I've ever said absolutely will never play again in this game. For that Halloween event a while back. But that being said, we're in Poltava. This is a great Tier 6 battleship. And honestly, it might be my favorite, actually. There's a couple really good ones at the tier. I think they're mostly owned by the British at the tier. You know, the Nelson, the Hood is good. I think Hood is really underrated. Let's see, what else is there? Obviously, Collingwood, if you're going to mention Nelson. But we're going to be showcasing a lot of overpens. Notice I didn't shoot my guns off right away, and I kind of waited my first shot. That's a semi-angled Nuremberg that we overpen, and you can see my frustration there. Like, that should not have been overpins at 15 kilometers. That being said, this match is going to be the story of overpens. Alright? It is going to be a little bit rough. Now, I normally don't have that issue, but Russian battleships, if you haven't played them a while, like I didn't, you're going to see I make some changes here a little bit where I start to aim up, get a little bit better, some better hits. But this match could have been really crazy if I didn't overpin everything I looked at in this match. And I figured we'd do this match because it is a good one. And again, as you notice, almost every one of my good matches, right? Well, I shouldn't say that. But more than not, a lot of my matches come from me being in the middle of a map when I'm in a battleship. Because, well, actually in all my ships. And why is that? It's because you can control most of the match. It's like my biggest pet peeve I see people do. They give up the best position on the map. Right? We talk about this a lot, so I won't dwell into it too much. But right now, we have the middle of the map. We're making sure we're not getting too overly aggressive here. And we want to be careful of the left side. If you push in, just slightly too far in a Russian battleship, I mean, this thing is heavily armored. And I actually think, offhand, I don't think anything in the entire game has an extended belt that is 200 millimeters like Poltava. I'm sure there might be, but I can't think of it right now. This thing is definitely protected, but with Russian and Italian battleships, their biggest weakness, like all ships, but particularly them two, is going broadside. It is going to be a very short day for you if you get too close in and somebody gets your broadside. And this ship is no different. That being said, everything else on this, not going to be bad, right? Like, you know, if you're angled, this is a tough ship. These shells get there really quick. It's actually a problem because as you can see here, I can't even shoot the destroyer that I desperately want to shoot at. And I start moving up. We see the destroyer in front of us, but I was actually expecting our destroyer to go out and help me with this. And then I'm also watching that other destroyer. You can see the ships are all in kind of far out. And I'm like, all right, this is my chance to take the shot at the destroyer. And we're going to go ahead and get actually a couple overpens on them, which obviously on the destroyer is normal. You can see here, one thing I do with 2A1 guns, right? So if you guys don't know what 2A1 guns are, that's two guns in the front, the superstructure in the middle, and one gun on the back. I will shoot my rear guns a lot, or my rear turret in a different position a lot. And you'll notice I do that quite a bit in a lot of ships. This one is no different. But this ship has amazing firing angles, and you don't really need to do it. You can see we're staying really well angled to Renown while not in having all guns on turrets. This is one of the best ships for firing angles, especially at lower tiers. You know, you do not have to give up your broadside at all in this thing. So we're going to take some more shots at Renown, and guess what? Overpens. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but these are only 14-inch guns. It's not like I'm running around with 20-inch clodhoppers just plowing through everything. These are 14-inch guns, and I obviously just had a bad match with overpens. I don't normally overpen that much. Oh, and you didn't get overpenetrated that time too much. And he's going to go down here in a second. You can see this ship, though, most of the time, you were getting a lot of over-penetration in this match. This would have been a pretty crazy game normally, I would say. I think some of it was just a little bit unlucky, like Colorado just slowing down at the right time here. Did not expect that. And again, we're going to do a couple overpens on him. Oh, no, we're actually going to get 2 full pens on him that time. Maybe I just got to lead him by a half a mile and let him stop. Then for some reason it'll penetrate. That was a terrible shot by me. And we are going to push up. One thing I want to know is, at tier 6, guys, right? What is your guys' favorite battleships? You're going to see I'm going to load HE here, by the way, because I'm definitely overpenning. And this is something I do more than I used to, is come off of AP on a battleship in the given scenario, right? There's nothing on this side of the map but a destroyer and an angle to Colorado. There's, right now, not much reason to have AP loaded. We can do HE into the superstructure, get good solid sabos out of it, and if that destroyer shows his face, we have HE loaded. And you can see we get a little decent sabo. Now, granted, we didn't get a fire, but we can see we switched back to HE for that reason. And also, our destroyer is doing pretty good. That destroyer in front of us was pretty decent. He was using his guns and helping out, and he was spotting when he needed to be. So kudos to you if you're out there stored. Pretty solid by you helping out when he had the opportunities to. As you can see, he's shooting again. We're going to go ahead and load AP right as the destroyer gets spotted, of course. But we do get a fire. We get our high caliber at 100K. And you guys, as you can see here, we're going to try to take a shot here at the destroyer. And that's one thing I really like about Russian battleships, is you have such, like, they're laser beams. Even these 14-inch guns, you're going to see, these do not loft much at 12 kilometers. I mean, like, they're barely coming off the ground. Of course, he dies before we get there. But the aim, you know, aiming at destroyers in these Russian battleships is a lot of fun. Like, it's the one ship you can absolutely wreak havoc with on destroyers because of shell velocity and how fast they get there. Now here, we're going to go ahead and start to push in and help the rest of the match. Obviously, it's not ideal right now, or I mean for their team. They're obviously in a bad position, but again, we're gonna overpenetrate on Fuso. Now, where this is gonna be really crazy here is in a second you're gonna see a cruiser pop up, a mono. There he is, and. Oh, I was so mad in the moment on this. The mono player either was really terrible or really good, and I cannot figure out which it was. Right? We catch him. Yeah, he's not expecting a shot. And, yep, you guessed it. Overpens. And only one of them, oddly enough. This ship is actually pretty accurate for a Russian battleship. Especially when you get close in Russian battleships, they get really, you know, you get some really good salvos out of them. The accuracy gets better. And you can see we're using our rear turret on the battleship and the front turret on a mono. But again, a mono, 3 overpens. He's right at the distance where we're going to overpen the living daylights out of him. So we're going to continue to stay angled to Fuso, but we're going to try to get rid of a mono because he's kind of given himself up a few times. We're going to take a shot at Fuso, and then again back at a mono. This is one thing I do quite a bit. And now we're starting to overpen Fuso. It's like, jeepers, man. And again, 6 overpens. But at least it was enough overpens to make him realize that hurt. Oh, man. Obviously, too, you want to stay bow end. That's one thing I didn't say. Japanese destroyer or cruiser, you know torpedoes are coming at you. Like, if you shoot at him, he sees you, this Japanese destroyer or torps coming at you. And we get our helping hand off of the Fuso with 5 assists and a mono. We finally get one full penetration on a mono as the match comes to a complete end. Obviously doing a significant amount. Surprise XP was what it was, but it was tier 6. As you can see, top of leaderboard helping our team win the match. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, folks. Have a good one.